Hi and welcome to Best in Tesla. I never wanted to like Tesla. That is something a German man said who had worked for a German OEM for 25 years. But he ended up not only buying a Tesla, but investing in the company as well. So what was it that converted this full-blooded German OEM guy to buy a Tesla? Well, let me show what it was, and let's dive right in.
Why would you get anything else?
So Ian made a long post on X about Tesla as he wrote, "I never wanted to like Tesla. I spent nearly 25 years at a German OEM, so when the Tesla Model Y launched in 2012, I thought it was cool but just a gimmick. Then came the Model X. Interesting, sure, but $100,000 plus vehicle. No way they'd survive. But when the Model 3 was announced in 2016, something shifted. I started paying attention. Really paying attention. I watched Tesla power through production hell during the 2018 Model 3 ramp, and I was generally impressed by their speed, grit, and ability to pivot. That's when I dove deeper. I looked into the software and hardware engineering, vertical integration, material science, supply chain philosophy, and their velocity-obsessed business model. The more I learned, the more I realized Tesla's approached everything differently, from the way they design products to how they build and deliver them. This isn't a company adding innovation on top of an old system. They rethought the system itself. Yes, this is something many people go through when they actually take the time to dive deep into Tesla's technology and engineering. If you remember how Sandy Munro couldn't believe how poorly the Tesla Model 3 was assembled when he saw it for the first time with huge uneven panel gaps. He even said, how could Tesla put this on the street? But then he dove deeper and looked underneath those panel gaps and was blown away by Tesla's engineering. And when he test drove it, he actually was blown away again and said it drives like a BMW, only faster.
So if you're a driver, this is like driving a BMW, only faster.
And when Tesla implemented all 14 changes that he had suggested in only 3 months to the Tesla Model 3, Sandy also understood that Tesla might not be very good at making cars just yet, but they can change things faster than anyone else in the industry. And from then on, Sandy Munro became a fan of Tesla because he understood what Tesla was capable of. And when Tesla released the refreshed Model 3, Sandy no longer had any complaints about panel gaps, but actually called it the best sedan in the world. And when Jason from Hagerty tested out the Cybertruck, he also wanted to hate it like Ian here wanted to in the beginning. But because Jason is an engineer, he was also blown away about what Tesla had engineered into the Cybertruck with the 48-volt architecture, the steer-by-wire, and so much more.
But holy shit, what went into this is like, I would hang myself if I worked for a traditional car company right now, out of sheer embarrassment. Like when they start pulling this thing apart, their mind is going to be blown to the point of like, why do we even come to work every day?
Yeah.
And with the refreshed Performance Model 3, Jason said that Tesla just completely and utterly made the BMW M3 irrelevant.
This renders the M3 completely and totally irrelevant.
Yes, Tesla certainly have come a long way and has become so much more than just a car company, as Ian also wrote about. And pretty quickly it hit me. This isn't really a car company. It's something much bigger. A technology company that happens to make vehicles. Vehicles that are just one piece of a much larger mission. And if the legacy brands can't keep up, Tesla will outpace them. Not because they want to crush the competition, but because they completely changed the rules of the game. Yes, as Elon has said many times, the only thing that matters is the pace of innovation. That is why someone like SpaceX don't even make patents for their technology. They just innovate so fast, so if you try to copy what they do, you will always be behind. And Tesla has shown that not only did they learn how to build cars properly, but they actually invented a whole new way of doing it. And now Toyota is copying Tesla's production method. But Tesla is of course innovating so fast that before Toyota will have a new EV on the street with gigacasting and structural battery pack and so on, Tesla will have their Cybercab on the street that is built on a whole new production system. Yet again, the Tesla unbox production method that will be 100% automated and move so fast that no human can even get close to it. But Ian didn't just learn about Tesla. He ended up buying one, as he wrote. Fast forward to 2023, my wife and I bought our first brand new Tesla, a Model 3 long range all-wheel drive. It's the best car I have ever owned, and I've owned close to 40 vehicles, many of them segment leaders. Nothing compares to Tesla's seamless integration of hardware and software. Waking up to find new features in your car? That's unusual, unexpected, and uniquely Tesla. It's hard for people to grasp what a Tesla really is. They see a smooth jelly bean shape on the road and completely miss that it's one of the most advanced pieces of consumer technology ever built. We get to buy that. It protects your family. It even drives itself. There is nothing quite like a Tesla. Exactly. If you live in the US, you can buy a Tesla Model Y today for about $45,000. And that will give you and your family one of the safest cars in the world, one of the fastest SUV you can get, the most advanced software, including Grok so you can talk to your car, and it can drive itself supervised for now, and it gets better and better as time goes by. And all the safety features and everything except the full self-driving package you get in the standard version. And it has like 40% more cargo space than most competitors in the compact SUV segment like the ID.4 or the Mark E. And it can charge with 250 kilowatts and have over 500 kilometers of range. No wonder this car has become the best-selling car in the world, with all of that for only $45,000. That is probably some of the best value for money you can get in the car industry. But not everyone gets that, as not everyone has test drove a Tesla or understand the underlying technology and engineering of the Tesla cars, as someone like Jason and Sandy Monroe does, like Ian also wrote about. Over the weekend, I got into a heated argument with someone who claims Tesla is in trouble, that nobody wants their cars anymore because of Elon's political stance. They even insisted Tesla is losing ground in China. I pushed back and pointed out that the Model Y is consistently among the top-selling EVs in China, sometimes the top-selling vehicle overall. Case in point, in June 2025, and also in May and in all of Q1 actually, it was the best-selling car in the entire country. In the first half of 2025 alone, Tesla sold 171,491 Model Ys in China, leading its price segment despite a 17.5% year-over-year decline. They called me a liar, but the numbers don't lie. Just check the sales data. It's a shame how much negative media gets piled on Tesla, painting the company company as faltering, when in reality they are pushing boundaries, building exceptional products, and driving a culture rooted in a shared sense of mission. Yes, exactly. The mainstream media is trying their best to show a negative view on Tesla, and people blindly believe it. I mean, how can you say that Tesla has a demand problem or sales are collapsing when Tesla still has one of the best-selling cars in the world? I mean, that just doesn't add up. Tesla sold more than 375,000 units of the Model Y in the first half of 2025. That is including complete shutdown of all Model Y production lines globally, and the ramp up of those production lines again, and getting inventory filled back up. And still, they have sold more than 375,000 units. We don't have the exact global numbers just yet, but at least 375,000 units, probably more like 400,000 units. Someone like GM, with their many brands and many EV models combined, sold 78,200 BEVs in the first half of 2025. And Tesla's one model is selling about 375 to 400,000 units, or about 155,000 units just in the US. That model is selling very, very well. Most other car companies would kill to have a car with a starting price of about $45,000 to sell this many units. So no, Tesla sales are not collapsing as Ian's friend here is suggesting. They are doing very well, actually. Don't forget, someone like Audi thought they would catch up with Tesla in BEV sales, but Tesla actually sold more cars in general than Audi did in 2024. And in the first half of 2025, Audi sold 783,000 cars, all combined with their ICE cars and everything. And Tesla, even with their big decline because of the refresh Model Y shutdown, Tesla still sold 720,903 units globally, only a tiny bit smaller than Audi. And Tesla does that with 5 models and 4 factories. Audi does that with 30 models and 19 factories. Audi would kill to have such a successful car as the Model Y. Audi has no model that comes even close to that unit sold of the Model Y. Their best-selling model, the Q5, sells just under 150,000 units globally in the first half of 2025. So Tesla's Model Y is still dominating, even with the shutdown of the production line for many weeks and retooling the production line for the new refreshed version. The Tesla Model Y was in China the best-selling SUV of any kind in the first half of 2025. In Europe, it did end up being the best-selling BEV model of any kind in the first half of 2025, despite a big fall because of the shutdown of the Berlin factory. And in the US, the Tesla Model Y is still completely dominating the BEV market. Nothing is close, and is selling more units than any of the German premium brands in the US like BMW, Audi, or Mercedes, with all their ICE cars. So to say Tesla is in trouble is really misunderstood, and thinking that Elon's politics can hurt Tesla sales so badly, really don't get how much sales would drop because of the refreshed Model Y. If you guys have been following me, you know I have said this changeover to the refreshed Model Y could end up costing Tesla something like 100,000 units in sales. And Tesla ended up in the first half of 2025 losing 109,000 units compared to last year. So pretty close to what I predicted. And that had nothing to do with Elon's politics, only retooling of the Model Y line. But as Ian ends, with leadership from Elon Musk, design from France, and engineering oversight from Lars, Tesla's team continues to deliver what others say is impossible. I'm proud to be along for the ride as a consumer and an investor. Yes, exactly. Ian here went from one that didn't want to like Tesla to not only owning the car but having even invested in the company. Yes, as more people get to experience what Ian here has and get to know more about Tesla and the engineering that is behind the smooth appearance, more people will go for a Tesla. And as Tesla will release full self-driving supervised here in Europe, that will no doubt create even more demand for Tesla cars here. So I think Tesla will ramp back up to normal levels here in the second half of 2025 and back growing again in 2026. Because if Ian here, who has been working for the German OEMs for 25 years and didn't want to like Tesla, can be converted into not only buying the car but to investing in the company, I think most people that test drive a Tesla will end up liking the car. And thank you for watching. And until next time, take care out there and be nice.